Thailand with your host Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.
Welcome to Padia and welcome to Thailand and welcome to Talking Heads podcast. The second today, believe it or not, and still at the end there, still sitting there, Mr. Bobby. How you doing, mate?
Another double header.
A what?
Double header.
Behave yourself. Keep this as a clean show. There again, Darren's in the studio.
I wonder what them tissues were for.
It's a clean show.
Don't go there, man.
Darren's in the studio, so it could be a bit bumpy today.
Ooh.
Darren McGarry, welcome to the studio.
Welcome.
How are you, sir?
Great, thank you. You?
Good. I'm absolutely rocking and rolling today. We're on
upbeat today, aren't we?
We're on a marathon today, me and Bobby and yourself. Nice to see you in the studio.
Thanve you very much.
Looking fresh. You said you had a bit of a busy day. I mean,
today.
Well, yeah, today is today. Is today?
I'm a busy day every day.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, today you've been a bit more busier with the expats. I mean, we're doing the websites and sorting things out.
Well, obviously business has gone a little bit quieter than normal, so you know, there's not as much. There's no tourists here, is there? Really? So
there's 30 Chinese here.
There's a few missing links turned up, but I don't know. But
Seeing those tour,
I don't even know where they've gone. It's that secretive. That got me, you know.
What are you saying, Bobby? Hang on, I'm going to get going.
Well, my mum rang me last night. She said, you know, it's your fault I've got no fish and chips tonight. What's our finger?
It's got a headache.
Oh.
Go on, say it, Bobby.
No, I saw a tour bus today, man, and I was like, wow, a tour bus.
I
used to hate those things, man. I was like, okay, let's bring them in again.
I
man.
spy
Let's
with
get
my
some
little
action
eye
going.
something beginning with B. But it's laughable at the same time, isn't it? I mean, how can you expect to bring 30 Chinese into Thailand and the economy is going to get better overnight?
Unbelievable.
I mean, I
thought at the airport with no masks on. I mean, you can't write this shit. You can't write
mask,
it.
And of course, they've walked all the way through, haven't they? And now we're expecting more to come. So,
400, yeah.
Yes, I mean, that's going to really change the economy, isn't it?
Oh, massive. Massive. I mean, they spend a lot of money, the Chinks, don't they?
We're in the wrong trade. We should be selling teddy bears. You know that, shouldn't you, Bobby? On long sticks.
I'm going to open a noodle shop.
We'd make a fortune. How's the expat club itself? I mean, you're revamping the website, aren't you? You're doing a lot of things
With your
on there.
help, yes, thank you.
How's it going?
Great. I mean, we're revamping it. You know, there's a lot of businesses interested in putting banners on there, and you know, with your help, we bought some new domains.
Yes.
And, you know, I've got having a new site built, and we've got a few new volunteers turned up this week. So things are moving forward. Yeah,
How do you
pleased.
When you step into the shoes that you've stepped into at the expat club? Yeah, I mean, you've taken on the reins of like trying to market it and run it and trying to get it out there, revamp it. I mean, surely because of the way the expat is structured, and of course the members over the years that are there have been there a long time and they've got their way of thinking. I mean, surely you have to tread a little bit slowly, don't you?
Yeah, this is a thing that this is a thing that, you know, you've got to move fast, but things move slow.
Yeah, sure.
You know, with a lot of things that are not right, you know, including contracts and different things that we need to readdress, which we're doing already. You know, as a you know, you got to remember the volunteers that are there to help the club and the board. 90% of them are not business people. So, you know, you've got to teach them about saving money as well as, you know, making some money. And this is what we're doing at the moment. You know, we've been pushing the banners. You know, the website's on AdWords, so that's all over the place at the moment. I mean, the other night we clicked on a new link from Bangkok Post straight away, right in front of your face. There it is.
Good.
The Expat Club. So, but I mean, that's with your help as well, Dave.
Yeah,
you know,
we're getting there.
With the page that you're doing, and you're supporting the club tremendously. And we really appreciate.
We try and put it out there as much as we can. I think the thing that's that comes to my mind when you're doing something like revamping a website, because I've looked at the old website, I think that it needs to be more user easy friendly.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy, you know, for an older person who doesn't understand it too well to click here, click there, and you're in, you know, instead of like 15 routes before you get there. So it needs to be, in my eyes, the website needs to be very information informal, and it also needs to be easy, friendly, and usable.
What happened with the website was the guy who originally owned it passed away with the passwords and the ownership of the website. So they had to get a new website, hence somebody bought the real, not a very good domain name, as you know. So,
which is easy, which
that website was thrown together.
Yeah,
to be fair.
Yeah. It served a purpose, Darren.
Correct. At the club, as we said with Brian last week, we've been governed for about 8 years by people that don't really want any change or move with modern technology.
Move with the times,
move with the times. And unfortunately, you've got to do now to survive.
Well, I remember my mum. I mean, she was like 70 odd years old, 80 years old, and I stuck a laptop in front of her. And I says, if you use this, you'll be able to talk to me, and this is how you do it. And she was against it all the time, against it. But eventually she knows how to use it now, and she'll call me on it and things like that. So it takes time, and you have to tread slowly when you're dealing with older people that are stuck in their ways. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you've got to teach them the new ways, and sometimes it's baby feeding. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
Well, at the club, what we're doing, we're not trying to. We're moving round the members. We're not trying to do anything, say to the members, right, now this is what we're going to do.
Right.
What we're doing is we're looking for new sponsors, which we picked a few up this week, who, it's so cheap. I mean, to be a sponsor at the club and have your own little desk and where you can sell your wares and your goods, it's £1,000 a month. To have a banner on the website, that's open to 150,000 members, on the newsletter alone per week, it's £3,000 a year.
Plus DAT, of course. DAT, don't forget that.
DAT?
Yeah, Dave's added tax.
Dave's added tax, yeah. Dave's added tax. I tried to sell Dave, he won't have it.
But you do it, listen, you're doing the right thing. We sat here, we're not going to go into this too much, but we sat in and we listened, and I was forte to listening when the other guys were in here and we were talking on air about the Expat Club, and there is a lot of places and things that need doing to structure it better, to fine tune it better, and to make it in the way of like financially professional. And you're doing that. And I mean, and they, like you say, going around the members is probably the best thing. And like eventually you can say, hey, look at this. If you press, this is it. You've got all this at your fingertips now. I just think change is always a big thing for a lot of people.
It is. But what we're doing is we're at grassroots now, because for 8 years it's just turned into weeds. Do you understand what I mean? Nobody's been watering it.
Well, you are the fertilizer, man. You are.
So rumor has it.
I'll tell you what,
you are, man. You're bringing a new life
full
to
of so many questions.
Yeah. No. So it's all standard stuff that any businessman would know that hasn't been done. So all we're doing is building that first, and that will then give us the building blocks to get more bums on seats, so we can offer new members and the old members more. It's like the raffle we've got coming up in New Year, where we're giving away a motorbike, that's been donated by a sponsor. So,
do you think do you think there was ever a time where the people that were, can I say this? Was there ever a time in the Expat Club where you had a certain amount of people around the table and they had a checklist and they were going through it and saying, do this, or was it really sort of taken to one side, done by a couple of people, and that's what was done and everybody had to sort of abide by that?
Correct.
The second one, yeah.
Yeah. When the Constitution, I mean, it sounds silly, but when the Constitution was wrote, the two top people when the Constitution said they couldn't be removed. So it wasn't the top man we had the problem with. And the problem was, it was one of these, if you wanted somebody to fart on a board meeting, you had to send an email about it. It wasn't, they were very, very proactive, not reactive.
Yeah, sure.
Now we've got everyone's working in a reactive mode. We're getting loads done.
I think as soon as somebody comes in like you, who, you've got a lot of ideas, you're fresh and all this kind of stuff, when they start to listen to you and take notice, and then they start to see results, that's when they go, oh, we were right, we should have done this years ago. Because how many times do people say that? We should have done this years ago. And I could see, we had Brian here the other week, and he was sitting with us, and we were talking, and you could see that me and you were talking about stuff, and you could see, because he was of the older school, that it wasn't sort of like everything wasn't going the way that you think it should sink into somebody. So there is always that obstacle, but I think if you pussyfoot around slowly and draw them into it slowly, eventually they'll be turned around, and eventually you're going to end up with a great product, because it is a good product.
Yeah, I mean, it's like this week alone, we've said about separating the sponsors and the website on the banners
Absolutely.
on the website. And I asked for the board's approval because we've got line apps now where we have one for the board and one for the volunteer group, yeah?
Okay.
So we talk online now. So instead of going through silly emails and waiting a week to get an answer,
instant, yeah.
it's instant.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just got a message from Brian said, go for it.
Yeah.
You know, a year ago, would have had to put it on an email, and then it'd have been knocked back. Oh no, we don't like that idea. It's not what we normally do.
But a lot of people are always scared. I mean, Bobby, you know this. They're always scared of something they don't know about and change, aren't they? But once you get them into that pigeonhole, once you've got them in there and shown them how it works, and we do the same thing actually. We do things together. Yeah. We do things together. He shouts at me, I shout at him. But eventually we go, well, actually that works better. Even we do it, don't we, Bobby?
Yeah, it's the human. It's what
just
we
human
do
nature.
to learn.
Is that what all them tissues are? Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's
They were for other things.
Stop frotting.
But we do. We you know, even the knowledge that Bobby's got and the knowledge I've got, which is, you know, it's okay knowledge, but we still learn from each other. You know, and you know, just by saying click this or do this, it's going to work better. And I think to the older person, that's more of an uphill battle than it is with somebody like me and Bob.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks, man.
That's it, man. But like last week, we had that, didn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, after the show, we had probably a chat for an hour, didn't we? We
did.
gabbling on
was
till about
really
8
good.
till about 8 o'clock, and
Yeah.
you know, and things were suggested that maybe to the older generation, oh, well, you know, I'm a bit, and I just said, go for it.
Yeah.
You know, you come up with some good suggestions, which you helped me out with, and we went for it. And you know, that's what we need to do.
What I think is this, Darren. We've all got our own ideas.
Of course.
Right, we've all got our own ideas. The older person's got their own ideas. But if you don't, I mean, we did a show last week with Briar and that, right? The show was great, and we got some good feedback from it, right? Then we turned off the mics. Then we all sat here talking, and because we'd done that, Brian was more au fait to what we'd been talking about, and then suddenly he started coming in on the conversation. And like you said, we sat here for another hour plus talking about modern things, and he's going, well, I would do that. And suddenly he's coming here negative and he's gone out as a positive, which is a great result. And I can see by just talking to him off camera and off microphone that he's very willing and able and wants to make change for the best.
That's right.
It's just that everybody didn't know all the facts.
Correct.
Which, you know, came as a shock to other people. But, of course, it's never too late to change. And like you've already started changing it with the banners. So that's pretty cool to me.
We have a comment from Michael Buckley. He says, if you want younger people to go to the weekly meeting, you may have to change the day to Sunday, as most under 50-year-olds work Monday to Friday.
I agree that. I agree with that, actually.
Yeah.
I agree. It's a good point.
It's a good question, Mike. But it's all down to the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason we have to do it on a Friday is because they normally Saturday, Sunday they're fully booked on the ballrooms for weddings and you know, meetings and different occasions for the ties. So what happens is if we don't do it on a Friday, they'll kick us out of that room and put us in what we call the courtroom.
But what if you?
You know, it's not nice. It's not nice.
I think I've seen a video. Of that
the acoustics in the room are not good.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I agree with what Mike was saying though. I
mean, Barry was singing there last week and he sounded the same. Bobby, don't say that. That's joke, isn't it?
No, it's not. I mean, Mike was actually right in what he's saying, because the older boys that are not working. The older boys that are not working can get there easy on the Friday. The people that you want to try and attract, which is the younger person, is working. So it's slightly harder to get them there and get them out of their job, to get them there, to be there, to intermingle with the meeting. But, you know, it's never too late to find a place that may be available on a Sunday and may be available.
It's not... Okay, at this set time, Dave, with COVID, you know, these hotels are grabbing everything they possibly can. And as far as they're concerned, we're second.
Take whatever day you want. Yeah.
We're second. You know, if they've got 300 people coming to a wedding and we've got 70 going to the meeting,
you guys get booted.
We get booted. But, you know, it's perfect. It's great. You know, it's a great suggestion. But please remember, you don't have to stay for the full meeting. If you want to come, like a lot of sponsors, how I used to do it was, I'd have my table outside in the outside the meeting room. I would never go in the meeting. I would sit at my desk and I'd have my pamphlets and everything. People would come and ask me visa questions. I give them a business card. As soon as the meeting started, I'd probably get there at 11 o'clock. By 12 o'clock, I'm on my way. So for a lot of business people, they can sell the wares and then go. It's only an hour of the time on a Friday. Or if they've got a member of staff saying we've got one sponsor who's coming tomorrow, a new one, and he's thinking about putting a member of his staff in there on a Friday while he can stay at the office.
On the new website, I mean, as you've got it as the Expats Club, which you will have, and you'll have the new website done. Somewhere on that website, you need a suggestions box that people can fill out and make it very easy for you to understand not what you want, what the people out there want, not just the people that's sitting in the meeting, but the people that can't make it to the meeting. So you need a suggestion box to say, why can't you do this? Or can we do that? Or what's your thoughts on this? And then each week you can address those people that have, like we've just said, Michael, who's come on now while we're talking, straight away we've said, hey, Mike, this is the reason why we can't do this. But in a meeting you can say, we had a message from Michael Buckley when we was on the show, or we've had a message from him today in the inbox, guys. The whole room's listening, and he suggested, why can't we do this? The fors and against it. So then you've got current things that people want to know.
Yeah, on the new. Well, we listened to you last week, and we listened to you at the meeting when I were doing the talk, and we're already done that. We put the suggestions side on the new site. We're also going to have live chat.
Good.
So if a new member wants to ask a question, what time does it start? How much is it? There's going to be somebody there answering it. So we've already set that up. That's already going to be done because I think people need to have fast answers, in this day and age. It's like the old days, if somebody sent you an email, they'd give you 2 days to answer it. Now they send you an email. If you haven't answered it within 20 minutes, half an hour, it's not good enough.
It's very to say this. I mean, and Bobby probably said. I mean, Bobby different because he deals a lot with customers on his business. But from what I do now, I don't send that many emails. Most of my stuff is on live chat. I mean, they've got live chat on the websites now. So if I've got to talk to somebody, I just go on there and say, this is wrong. What do I do? And they answer you straight away.
That's right.
So that's good.
And this is what we're going to do. And I mean, I used to have that on my website, but I'm not an octopus. I've only got 2 arms.
Yeah, sure.
And I can't be dealing with customers answering emails and live chat at the same time. And you can say, well, get somebody in to do it. It's not that easy to train somebody in my sort of industry, in the visa industry, to give the right answers. Because you give somebody the wrong answer, they could be in the shit.
But surely, if you did something on the website saying, all of your questions that you want us to answer, they all need to be into us by Thursday night, 9 o'clock at the latest, for the meeting on Friday. Then basically, just print them off and talk about it. Because the problem is this that I see at the Expat. You're talking. Sometimes you're overlapping and talking about the same things.
Boring,
and it does get boring. But the people that's there, it's called the Expats Club. So if you've got the expats and the younger people outside and inside patio sending you messages saying, why can't you do this? What about this? What about that? They're feeding you the new information, which will make the meeting, in my eyes, more enjoyable.
I'd like to say something as well, if I can.
Oh, yeah, goodbye. You've been a great crowd.
Hang on, my ears are not sweating yet.
Yeah, you've been a great crowd. Get off.
That was good. That was quick. That was quick,
wasn't it? That was quick. That's quick.
Yeah. I'll get you after. Okay. Anyway, I forgot what were you saying now. Oh, yeah. After every meeting, like I said, we tend to do the open forum. Now, when we sold one of the banners to the gym this week, I've sold one to a gym, which I think is a good idea.
Absolutely.
Because, it's going to help them as well. But the answer I got back is, Darren, I don't mind buying a banner, but I can't afford the Zimmer frames. Now, to me, the expats isn't what people think it is. The people that are there really are aged between 40 and 60. Okay, you've got some older people, but there's ages 40 to 60. A lot of them people, then the guy who said that, who owned the gym, he doesn't realise that some of them expats members actually train at his gym.
This is something where I'm coming from.
They're not that old.
Yeah, but
people think it's full of, old dodgers, but it's not.
Yeah, but why do they think that, Darren? Think about it. Because it's not been publicised in the right way. It's not been promoted in the right way. I mean, I'm not going to say where it came from. I watched a video recently that I thought, what a bag of shit. How can you promote a club like that and do what you've just done? Because it just didn't make sense what was being shown. Now, if a guy's buying a banner on the Expat Club and he's saying, okay, I'm going to support you, which he's done, which is great, fantastic, brilliant. And on top of that, can you give us an incentive for our members? Can we give them something? Right, so he could say to you, I'm only talking out loud, he could say, I tell you what, for your Expat Club, I'm going to give them 70% off, 50% off, whatever, and encourage the older people to come up and be at the gym, because for all he knows, some of the expat people that could be sitting out in that room could be ex-bodybuilders. They could be ex-athletes. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But he doesn't know that because he's got this in his head that they're all sitting there, all fuddy-duddies with Zimmer frames, drooling. They're not. Because it's never been shown the right way.
No, correct.
And it still isn't being shown the right way yet. And if you can show people via a film where you're never too old to surfboard, you're never too old to skydive, you're never too old to do a racing car, you're never too old to do whatever you want to do. These are the kind of things that inspire people.
That's right. I mean, like I said, we're at the moment we're early stages.
Absolutely,
and,
absolutely.
We have got a lot. There is a lot of things we need to change, a lot to learn. I mean, when I did the talk the other week, normally how we do it is we will do the talk on the stage and then we'll do the interview after about what we were talking about. That's how it used to be. This time I got dragged in to do the interview before I did the talk. And what you're going to talk about today? Well, is it not better to do the interview after and tell people what I spoke about
and how it went and what reactions you got? Yeah, sure.
And I wasn't very amused. And the answer I got was, well, the cameraman wants to go. Well, can you fire him and get another one then? That was my answer, yeah? Because he should be told to turn up at a certain time.
To be honest, with some of the phones around today, you don't even need a cameraman there, do you, Bobby?
No.
I mean, some of them are just so good.
Correct.
I mean, what you can do on a phone these days, and the effects and the sound and everything is just.
That's right.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
I've heard.
It's not. You've been talking to my doctor. You've been talking to my doctor.
Viagra works, Dave.
Oh,
that's all you'd get, yeah.
Do you know what? I get Viagra and rub it in my eyes so I look hard.
I want to go home.
You started it. Don't even start there. I mean. So what is your plans for the Expat Club itself? I mean, what would you like to see your end goal? If you could wave a magic wand now and it was the end goal sitting in front of you, what would you like to see as an end goal happening at the Expat Club, being structured as the Expat Club, and getting the way that it gets the feedback from the website? What would you like to see?
Great website. Obviously, the online chat that we're talking about, the way people can contact, rather than contacting maybe some of the older people, get a volunteer who's younger, who can answer the questions, who's more techno, savvy. I would like to see per meeting more than 100 people there. That's our goal at the moment. I would like to see more sponsors outside. Sponsors who are selling the wares. If the boss can't make it, then I'd like to see a member of staff there rather than just pay 1,000 baht and not turn up, or something like that. I'd like to see the staff taught how to be a little bit more professional, look more professional, which we're looking at new uniforms as well at the moment. I've already getting them done as well. One of the problems I encountered when I went to the Expat Club, and I mean, this is just criticism. This is not to say good, bad, whatever. This is just criticism. And that is, and I don't know, probably Bobby might say the same thing, and that is that, the actual people sitting in the room
are sitting at the tables where they are, and the actual intermingle of everybody, you know, that talking together, to me wasn't happening. It was just, we're sitting on this table and we're there and that's us, and then we listen to the meeting and we're going home. That nobody was sort of interacting. There was nothing there to make people interact or communicate with each other. Because I've been in that room with Bobby, we've sat there, we spoke to the people on the table, of course we did. But we didn't speak to anybody else. No. And I think there's something there where if you're on a table, if you got one person from one table, so let's say you've got a table and everybody's sitting around it and they've got to pick a subject. On that table, they've got to pick a subject, what they would like you to answer for the day, and then you give that microphone to that table, that person stands up, represents that table, we've all had a talk and we're deciding this. Darren, what do you think? And then that table becomes part of your entertainment. It becomes part of your meeting for that day. And if you've got 20 tables in there, you've got 20 questions, mate, and you've got a good meeting. You're bringing them into the conversation.
That's right.
Because at the moment they're left out.
This is where the old open forum scenario starts. But as you said, not everybody likes to pick up a microphone and ask a question.
But there is one person on one table that will.
That's right. And I mean, I meant to say when Brian was here last week, when I do a visa talk, which is normally twice a year, unless there's something urgent happens, I can guarantee that after I've done my talk, I'll have at least 20 people queuing up to ask me questions.
Right.
Because they don't want to
get a microphone in there.
To ask it in the meeting room, you know.
But if you had a table and you, on that table, representing that table, you had an elected speaker, the person that sits on that table, he's the speaker for the table. He can talk to all the table and get all the information from them, but he's the guy that stands up and says, Darren, us on the table, we've decided, or we would like to know, what about this? Is this happening? And also we'd like to know about that. Then suddenly you've brought the room into the conversation, and also you've brought the table into the conversation, because it's the table that's giving you the question. Then if you did that on half a dozen tables in the room or whatever, suddenly all those people in that room become part of your meeting. And not just, furniture, which they are.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's only the truth of the matter. In my eyes, that's it.
Yeah. It's funny you should say that, because I don't know whether it's the lighting in the room or it's the ambience or it's the quietness.
It's the quietness.
It's the quietness.
Absolutely.
And this is why, I put forward to the board that we should have at least some soft music in the background playing while we're setting off, or, a slideshow, like Brian said, telling about the expat club, what they do, when they started, what it's all about,
Well, this is...
what answer did I get? Well, they don't like it. They don't like it. You don't have to be loud.
If you can name me anybody in that audience that doesn't like somebody, this is why the warm-up artist was invented.
Yeah.
To come on, cheer up the people in any way, shape or form, to get them a little bit awake for when the person comes on and goes, hi, it's me, how are you? Because they've already intermingled with somebody, they've already spoken to somebody, they already feel part of something, yeah?
That's a good idea.
But if you've got a dead audience, you walk on the road and go, it's me, they're all going, and what? And so what?
Well, this is why I said last week, why don't we separate the open forum, do half at the start, asking, is there any questions, anything you're not sure about, insurance, anything like that, then bring the speaker on, and then do the question and answers and open forum at the end. So you've already started warming the room up,
But if you sit as a bystander, like if you sit as a bystander at the side of it, and all we hear is this, and to the stage, Darren, we go, oh no, bye, and to the stage, bye. So it's like this. It's sort of regimental if you get that without feeling. So you've got a crowd there. You've got a great room there. You've got a stage there, and you've got speakers there. Yeah, why not sort of try and uplift everybody that's in the room to create a better atmosphere? Creating a better atmosphere gives you a better atmosphere to speak about what you want to speak about, and people go out feeling good. And if they go out feeling good, they want to come back.
Dave, how long have you been a DJ? As long as you can remember.
40 years, yeah.
There you go. but not everybody's like you.
Yeah, I get it.
You know,
I get it.
you're a reactive person. You're one of these people that can stand on stage and just talk about anything. You can just get on with it. You know, you can warm people up. You know, and that's what DJs do. Otherwise, you're not good at your job. So, you know, we are there to listen. Like you said, we've got to do it slowly because people don't like change. But I'd already thought about an idea of, you know, that the board members who've got certain jobs should at least get up once a week, take it in turns, and tell them how they're getting on with their side of the job, what's happening with the club, how the club's moving forward. Like I did have we got any new members, stand up, what's your name, where do you come from, you know, and give them a clap, blah, blah, blah. This sort of thing, you know, just to liven it up a fraction.
The worst thing you can get in a room like that, and Bobby's an artist, I'm a DJ, we're talking different things. The worst thing you can get in a room like that makes it go downhill is dead air. It's dead air, and you get a lot of it there. And that's the problem there. There's nothing that's like, in my eyes, even if we gave them something to do, or, I don't know, I'm just talking out loud now, you know, but something where they're involved, where they have to be involved.
I understand. It... I shouldn't say, no, I won't say that. I won't mention that.
No.
I want to mention that I talk at the other club as well. But, what I'm trying to say to you, there's a different ambience, and our club is
why?
Exactly.
Answer it. Why?
And this is why I'm trying to...
Why is there an ambience there and there isn't there? Why? Say it. Why isn't there?
Because I feel that Americans...
Go for it, man.
We call it the American club.
Do what you want.
Club, yeah.
Do what you want.
Americans tend to be more, hey, how are you doing? Da, 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 da. And they'll go talk to anybody. And this is what I find with that.
Oh, he's like a pig in shit when he's in the crowd.
Exactly. With that, you know, with the club. And they've got, and the other club, they've got 2 or 3 big, old American guys who can hear you from the other end of, from one end of Walking Street to the other, yeah?
Loudmouths.
And they're not. They're lovely people. They're full of beans, you know.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. And that is what warms you up. And the first time I ever spoke there, I walked in and I got about 10 people. How are you doing? Shook me hand and I'm like, whoa.
Okay, so you've got a different ambulance.
It's just a difference in people.
Okay.
Our club is the European club. It's full of British people who are more reserved. They're more sat back. You know, what's this guy all about?
Part of the factor, I think, is just. I mean, I didn't want to say this, but I think it's kind of a truth. It's Friday morning. You know, most people in that room just got out of bed an hour ago. So they're still drinking their coffee, trying to get back and get into their body and get awake. So there's a little bit of a sleepy vibe when people come there, and it's the time of the day.
You would change the day. If you change that meeting from morning to afternoon or tonight or whatever you want to change.
People would be up more.
Totally different people. Pulling yourself, even me, you know, I'm not a morning guy. Even pulling myself out of the bed and having a shower and getting in the car and coming down to the meeting.
Some people are morning people and some people are not.
Yeah,
you know? So the odds and the ratio of people who are, it's probably 50-50. Let's say it's 50-50. That's still, it's going to affect the energy of that room.
But hang on a minute. Hang on. I'll just stop you there a second, yeah. The other club starts earlier.
Wow.
Okay.
Than our club.
My theory is blown.
Right, I'm sorry to say that, but it is. So what I'm saying is,
you've just been shafted, mate. You have.
I think most of
it before.
Most of it is they've got a meet and greet section. Okay, which we will have. They have a certain person who's on the board who waits for the speaker and brings him in and sits him down and chats with him, gets him a coffee, this sort of stuff. Yeah. It's just run a little bit. The clockwork is better.
Okay, so you're now stepping in the shoes. So this is what you're changing.
These are the things we're doing. I mean, I've already got a great meet and greet guy. Who's starting tomorrow.
There's a lot of English guys in the audience.
Correct.
That's right. So what do English guys like?
Wait.
They like jokes.
Fish and chips and sausages.
Jokes.
Why not
fish
a
and
meet
chips
and
and
greet?
sausages and black women.
Why not a meet and greet girl? Come on.
Yeah, but
there needs to be more birds there. Come on.
Well, I think we're gonna that's going to work with the sponsors and the new tables we're going to have.
You should know that. You should know. You're a man of the world, same as we are. You do know that men react different when a girl comes over and shakes your hand or says hello to you.
Yes.
It's not like you coming over to me and saying, "Hey, Dan, oh, mate, you all right? You doing all right?" So when you come over and you're a bird, I'm going, "Oh, Darren, you look good in the meals."
Oh, Brian.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. I get where his Bobby's coming from. I agree with him. There should be at least one or two girls there just to say hi, guys, make the guys more welcome, and it just pecks them up. And if there's English guys in the audience, and a lot of English guys in the audience, they like jokes, they like a bit of fun, And if you tell me different, I'm going to totally disagree with you because I've done loads over the years, and I do know that they like a bit of fun. Why can't we do that?
You know, when I used to do the radio with our friend. Mm-hmm. B1 Tone, yeah?
Yeah.
Then I used to, before I did the show with him on the radio, I used to look on Google and find, like, British people like one-line jokes, don't they?
Do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And I used to study them and write them down, and the ones that people like.
Good.
And as we were doing the talking with him, I'd just throw one in and stuff. Mm-hmm. And you know what? It was great response. People loved it. You know, because 1 minute somebody's talking serious about visas, and then they start talking about
I used to like the one about Tampax. You know, I used to say to people, "Do you know what? I went out and I brought a pack of Tampax last week. Yeah. I still can't ride a bike, play tennis, or swim." Because they tell you if you wear one, you can do all that. I still couldn't do it. I brought 3 boxes. But you see, do you see what we've just done?
Yeah, I love it, man. The energy just shifted there.
The energy just shifted within a few lines of a funny joke. The atmosphere has now changed in here. So you imagine that tenfold in the room.
Well,
I can't understand it.
But you see, it's all right. You're saying it, and I understand.
There's talent in patio. There's talent.
Amanda was here the other day.
Yeah, but who's going to get up?
There's talent.
Who's going to get up and tell the jokes?
There's loads in patio. There's loads. There's loads of people that can do jokes in patio.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Bring them down there. Get them on the stage. Have a laugh. How you doing, guys? Good morning. How you doing? All right. Nice to see you. I mean, you're getting old now, and of course you're shaking. The best thing is when your wife says, "Come over here and don't waste it."
Yeah. I mean, I like that one that somebody sent me yesterday. Why are there so many female archaeologists? Because women love digging up the fucking past.
There we go.
It's true,
there we go. I'm not a gynecologist, but I'll have a good look. But you get what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Look at it, Bobby. He's American, so okay, we've got to think about this. Yeah. He's all hot dogs and onions, but even
mustard too.
It's a completely different. I mean, we're dry, aren't we? The Brits are Europeans. We've got a dry sense of humour.
It's a different
it's completely
vibe.
Different.
It's totally different.
You'll laugh at stuff. I mean, I've watched some of these black comedians in America and stuff, and the audience are laughing like hook about him. I'm thinking, I don't get it.
No, I don't, because we don't understand.
Same here. I don't get you guys.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, he doesn't. But he doesn't. You don't understand all the stuff we talk about, do you?
Yeah.
But you got the one the other day, didn't you, about the shoe?
I did.
You remember that one? You know that one, don't you? I went to the baritone shop down here, the shoe shop in Big C, and I said, "Can I have a pair of boots size 42?" She brought them out. I went, these shoes, these boots are they're not even fit me, darling. What's wrong with them? She says, "Try them with the tongue out." I
got that one.
You got that one, didn't you?
That was a good one.
But look what it's done to the room. He's sweating because he's laughing and having a good time. You're now joining us because
I just don't know where we're going to go from that.
No, but I mean, what we're saying is, there's famous people around the world that used to say, laughter is the best medicine.
Agreed.
And I agree totally, because there's times in my life, and I mean, I don't mind saying this, there's times in my life when I've been so depressed, at the flick of a switch, mate, I could have just plugged myself in and gone. And then I think about the things that I like in life and make me laugh, like Norman Wisdom and Lauren Hardy and all these people. And I think about them when I'm down, and I start laughing in my head. And then when I start laughing in my head, it draws me out of that.
Well, at the club, if you remember, Brian, last week, you said about Spencer. Now, Spencer's passed away.
Okay.
But Spencer was a big lad, very full of himself, great, very funny man. And he used to bring he used to do clips for the week, like Only Fools and Horses, this sort of stuff. And he used to play these clips while people were eating the breakfast and stuff. Oh, they're pissing themselves laughing.
Well, there you go. It's an icebreaker.
Correct.
Soon as you've got somebody to laugh, that's it. They're in your hand.
Well, when I used to do a talk and people like that about visas, yeah. You know, they're like fucking frightened to death about what I'm going to say. At the end, I said, "All right, okay, that's it about visas. Let's tell you about some funny stories." They loved it, mate. You tell them 2 or 3 funny stories, and he just finished the day about what we see in the shop. Like a guy coming once, and he booked a visa on this old guy with his shorts on, no underwear on, and he sat on the sofa. His fucking bollocks were hanging out. And we said to his Thai missus, "Excuse me, love, you know." She went, "Oh, he's always doing." He went and flicked him back in the fucking shorts. You know, it's like
It wasn't Chinese, was he? One hung low.
No, they both hung low. You get quite jealous, actually. But no, the things we see. I mean, people walking in the fucking door and stuff. You know, push and pull and stuff on the door. And
but it's the funny. The thing is as well. You know, if you can do this sort of like look at us now, the way we're all acting now. If you can do this sort of towards the beginning of.
Well, what about so I'm a musician. I suggested some soft instrumental music, but what about running a Jamie Foxx video or some kind of funny video at 15 minutes in where people were eating breakfast and laughing their asses off?
Nothing wrong with that.
To get people in the spirit.
Yeah, if they don't, like you said with the clips that they played before, I mean, there's no harm in, playing a few segments from what you said before, putting some clips together, the funny bits. The outtakes were always great.
Do you remember when you went to, you probably won't know this, Bobby, but Spain, Brits got to Spain, right? Or Tenerife, somewhere like that.
Do you know that, Bobby?
Yeah.
In the afternoon, right, you guarantee you go for a beer, correct? Before
Correct.
you go out at the night,
Correct.
Yeah. So you go for a beer in the afternoon. What are they playing? Billy Connolly, Only Fools and Horses, all the funny stuff, all the funny shows. And you sit there drinking beer, pissing yourself laughing.
Yeah.
Hours go by, and you're drinking. But what it's doing, it's keeping you amused. You're not just looking at a bare wall.
It's getting the old grey matter going inside and making you feel better.
And ready for the night.
Getting
you revved up, yeah.
Get you revved up so when you meet the old Spanish bird or the one that's on holiday from Southampton.
Yeah. Essex.
Maggie or Essex.
with no knickers on.
Yeah, it always used to have necks on the knickers, didn't they?
Next. What, the label where they nicked them, yeah?
But there again, you see, we're just talking of like raising the feeling in the room. It's so easy to do, to push people.
Well, thank you for them suggestions, because it's given me a lot to think about. It's given me some good ideas.
Oh, well, we're here. I mean, and Bobby, our American friend at the end, even he's in it, so it must be good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you make him laugh, that's it. You've cracked it.
He laughs all the time.
Eh?
He laughs all the time.
Well, yeah, that's in the mirror.
Laughing assassin, we call him.
Well, that's in the mirror when he's naked. He's laughing all the time. He's the only guy in patio that spends £70 on a pair of shoes and can't see them.
Not me.
Yours are boots, mate. Wellingtons. I mean, I've heard about you.
But you got to be careful with these tall guys, Tall guys are well on, mate. This is why us Brits are small.
So, the Expat Club, I mean, we're having a laugh, we're having a joke. This is what it's all about. This is how you can lift the club. This is how you can lift what you want old people. Because old people don't want to just sit there and be, quiet, and they just don't want to melt into the background. All of those people in that room have got characters. All those people in there have got backgrounds, and all those people in that room at some time or another laugh and cry their eyes out at things, and that's what you have to tap into.
Agreed.
That's 100%. What I say. No?
Absolutely.
That's what I think.
I'm just scared if we put something funny on and then you get a boring speaker and everyone wants the videos back on.
Get him off the stage, Darren. I want Fools and Horses. Bring Trotter back on.
Bring Trotter back on. Get this fucking bloke talking about trees off.
So do Brits and Euros like Sacha Baron Cohen? If you put some crazy Sacha Baron, Ali G.
I think that would be, for the people that's in there at this particular moment, I think that would be probably a little bit too new.
Too much?
Too new, yeah. I think too new. I mean, you know what he's talking about is Faulty Towers. You're talking about Fools and Horses,
the older stuff.
The older stuff. You know, the Carry On films, which are great.
Harold.
You know, yeah.
Rising Damp and all them. Yeah.
Probably things that you.
Laurel and Hardy, man.
Lauren Hardy, I've got every single thing from Lauren Hardy, as you know.
That would be actually perfect for that room.
Funny, yeah.
And you got to remember, silent.
Charlie Chaplin.
So it's visual.
There you go.
Visual.
Charlie Chaplin too.
Charlie Chaplin as well. Fantastic. You know, I mean, you know, these are all good things that you could play.
Charlie Chaplin would work in that room.
I think if you can tap into something that every old boy likes, and if they're from England, they will definitely like the stuff we've just spoke about. Yeah, if you can tap into that stuff.
And 20 minutes of that before breakfast or during breakfast.
You know, because they'll be eating the breakfast and they go, oh, look at him, mate, he's just done that. And once you get that, but once you've got that going,
it changes things.
Or you get the prawn going over the table, you know what I mean? You kicked it.
But you remember the meeting we had last week in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. He used to do it.
Yes.
All right. Well, if he used to do it, who's replaced him?
Correct.
That's what was going through my mind. If it worked, then somebody broke it, then you got to fix it again.
I didn't understand that because he said, "Oh, this was really good," and that. Oh, yeah, it was really good times. Yeah, we used to do that. And then you're thinking, and I'm thinking, used to? Like, who's like stepped into the shoes and took over?
Correct.
Why did you carry on with it? The reason is because it went stale for 8 years.
Correct.
And this is where you have to do. You know, you're going to have to stir. You're going to have to stir up this hornet's nest.
Pot, yeah.
You're going to have to stir this pot, and I'm sure that, you know. People in the audience, I mean, they're your best. You've got a captive audience. If you go to them, would you like to see some of this stuff on stage? Would you like to hear some of this? Would you like to see? I can't imagine that many old people would not say, I don't want to watch a funny movie or a funny clip. Oh, I don't want to listen to a comedian. I don't think there's that many people in the world who say no to that, surely.
Well, Spencer didn't give them any choice.
Good.
This is what I'm saying.
Good.
And this is what I'm saying about, okay, should we bring this soft music to the board and to the club and ask them what they want? No, just do it. Just put it on, you know, and nobody's going to give you a shitty reaction. They're going to get used to it. And I'm sure that 90% of people in the room would appreciate something happening while they're waiting for the speaker. It's like the cinema. You go to watch a film.
There you go.
Okay?
Yeah, sure.
You don't sit there
without any coming attractions.
You've got all the coming attractions.
You've got all the coming attractions that get your attention and they uplift you ready for the big finale, which is the film.
And if you're lucky and you sat on the sofa with a woman, you've got a big attraction really coming.
How does he bring a woman into every single conversation?
I've had that before, you know.
I mean, last time I was
on the sofa.
I said at the Expat Club the other week.
Until I realised they had cameras.
I said to the guy at the side of me last week in the Expat Club, I said, look at that, look what's happening. He says, I know, I've got a fly in my soup. I says, you're lucky. He went, why? I says, he's doing the breaststroke. He says, mine's dead. Things like that are very, very easy to do. I mean, there's masses. I mean, you know, Daryl over in the UK, I mean, he used to do that for a living, you know, and people like this. And there's the stuff here that people can do. You know, I can do so much. But I think if people club together and just have a bit of a laugh, you know, I just think somewhere along the line that, you know, it will change the whole aspect. It'll be like going to a concert each week. It'll be like going to the comedy club each week, but with information. And I think that's what people want. They need to look forward to going.
Yeah.
They need to look forward to going. And I think at the moment, there's not a lot for them to look forward to going to.
Agreed. No, don't say that, Dave.
I'm saying that.
Because it's still a good club.
It is.
You know, it's just fine tuning we've got to do.
Correct.
It's, you know, there is a lot for them to look forward to. Me and the other, and the speakers
and the bird
and the women. Yeah, you're only jealous because you never sat on the sofa in the cinema and got your head sucked off, did you?
No, actually, he couldn't get his lips over my hair. My hair got in the way.
His teeth fell out.
That's what those blankets are for, huh?
You can beep that one out, Bobby.
The club as itself is there. It's got a great structure. It's got great people there. It's got a lot happening for it now. And I think if you just turn up the heat and you fine tune it, not by a lot, you're going to end up with a great club. It's a good club now. You'll end up with a great
Thanks.
club. Oh, I'm just telling you. I mean, it's just
No, you're not telling me. You're helping me.
I'll help you then. I'll help you.
Bobby, it's not good coming out with all this and,
this is
and not
great,
helping, is it?
We can pitch in, can't we, Bobby?
We can.
We can pitch in. I can bring the boots.
Well, you can do some funny jokes. Bobby can bring his guitar, do a bit, and Bobby's the techno guy.
Actually,
he can find some funny clips on a doggly ball.
Actually, we can sit.
Absolutely.
Actually,
yeah.
we can sit Darren on a soapbox, and I can stand at the side of him, stick my hand up his arse, and pretend that
Ventriloquist doll, yeah.
but I mean, there's just so many funny things that you can do. I mean, can I ask you a question? Is bingo illegal to do? Is it legal? Is it illegal to do here in Thailand? Bingo?
Well, me shit my pants well.
No, is it illegal to do?
No.
Oh, okay.
As long as there's no money involved, no.
Okay, all right. I'm thinking things of, in interaction, things that get people going. Quizzes. Old people like quizzes, music questions. I mean, trivia questions. Somebody on the stage asking trivia questions. What is one of the biggest things you get on the telephone today? Trivia questions. Can you name these 10 songs? Can you name these 10 places? Can you name these 10 questions? They're massive on telephone. Where's the quiz? Where's the quiz down there? Where's the trivia? Where's the thing to get involved? Give the winner. If there's 20 winners, put the 20 winners in a bucket. Let somebody pick out a winner, and that winner wins a prize.
Win something, yeah.
Absolutely, I'd do that all day long.
Yeah,
all day long.
Good idea, mate.
It's just the thing that it's missing down there. Like I said, the whole recipe down there is very good.
The interaction.
It's there. But I just think that the interaction, people getting involved, like we've said, and a little bit more fine tuning to make them feel as though they want to go there. They want to join in the quiz. They want to join in the laughter. They want to join in the good times. But also at the same time, they want all the information that everybody's bringing to them that's speaking in there. And I just think if all that's fine-tuned in the way that it's structured that works, which is not that hard to do, I think you can end up with a great club, not a good club.
Yeah. Well, like I said, when I've done my talks before, halfway through, I've said, "Are you still awake?" Things like that. Are you bored yet? You just to make you. No. You just got to try and.
Well, all you're trying to do is you're not saying, "Are you asleep or are you awake or are you bored yet?" What you're doing is you're trying to crack a joke to uplift the person in front of you to carry on talking about what you're talking about. That's what you're doing. So it's exactly what we're talking about now,
correct,
but in a different way. Because if those people have been having a good time, and if those people have been having a laugh, and they've been laughing or joking or whatever. They're up there already. They're whoa, yeah, I'm feeling great. And then you come on and say, do you know what, guys? This week we can do this for you. Then you've got their attention. You're not taking their head out of. You're not taking their head out of a sausage and beans and chips. They're already awake. These guys. And it's very easy to do with a few techniques. And I just think I think that you yourself are very charismatic. I think that you're very good at your job, and I think that fine tuning the club that's a good club more, and you'll end up with a great club.
Thank you.
That's what I think.
Thank you.
That's what I think. Personally.
Some great ideas.
What do you think,
Wonderful.
Bobby?
Yeah, maybe get a magician in there.
Yeah. Anything. Get somebody to perform on there, and you give them a free, whatever. You give them some free advertising. You do whatever you want to do. You've got your website is at your disposal. You've got 150,000 people on there. To some people, that's traffic. That's exposure. Whatever way you look at it, we can chip in on Patio One. We can say, okay, guys, come down to the Expat Club, go on the stage. You'll be took photos of you. We'll do a news story on you. We'll put the video on, and we're banging on 3 million people. How's about that? Free. You don't have to pay us.
Yeah,
it's exposure.
But again, Dave, we've got to remember this is not the Darren McGarry Club.
That's where I was going to
Club. I mean, we have one.
You got a board.
Yeah, we've got one guy on the board who is a speaker finder. Now, I think his job should be, like you said, finding magicians, finding people to, rather than just coming and talking about a subject, maybe have something visual, something that they can watch, like you said, a magician, the sort of people, juggler, anything that, people do in Pattaya. I'm sure there's some old boys out there that used to do things in the past. I mean, I know a few guys, I know a banjo player, I know he's brilliant and stuff like that. He'd come on. And this sort of thing. But I'm only one person.
I get what
I can put ideas through.
But if you don't listen, I know there's a board and I know there's people sitting around the table, but if you don't come to the table and give them your ideas and say, hey guys, what do you think to this? And have a chew on it and let's have a vote on it or however way you do it. If you don't put it on the table, okay, if they pick it up and throw it off the table, you tried.
Agreed.
And then if it fails, whose fault is it?
Yeah, exactly.
So there's no harm in trying. But I think a lot of the things that we've spitballed about that come out that we speak about in jest or in laughter or whatever way we do it, I think there's some valid points there.
Yeah, agreed. And I think the whole structure of the meeting needs to be moved around a bit. It's like when you go to the gym, you have your set days to do certain body parts. You've got to shock your body. Okay, so if you do your chest on a Monday and your arms on a Tuesday, sometimes you'll do your arms on a Monday, your chest on a Tuesday, because your body's expecting you to do your chest. So if you go into the show on a Friday and you say, right, okay, we're going to change it round today. We're going to do the open forum and asking the questions first.
Then
we're going to have the speaker.
Off.
Then we're going to do this. Then we're going to do that. This week there's no prizes because we're building up for the motorbike on the Christmas show. I said about the Christmas show today, and the answer I got, well, people don't really like the Christmas show. Oh, fucking make them like it.
But how do they know that?
Exactly. Get some birds on with the, serving drinks and. Wearing the Santa outfits and all this sort of stuff,
What have you done in the past for Christmas shows? I mean, what's been on?
Well, they've had a few singers on and a few bottles of sherry and this sort of stuff. But no, you go out and order a load of mince pies and stuff like that for people, and some grog, get some like you said, some fit women going around handing them out, with the little Santa outfits.
Santa's little helpers.
Yeah, exactly. You can get musicians on, maybe Bobby can come on.
The thing is, the key is, Darren, is this: as soon as people feel as though they're a part of something, they will take their turn in it and try and help. If people are only there as an ornament, they're not gonna. If they feel as though they're left out, they're not gonna stand up and say, "What about me?" Because not many people do that.
Well, I got told, well, Christmas Day's on a Friday.
And?
Exactly. That's what I thought. Well, people have their own things they'll be doing and stuff like that. I said, well, ask the hotel to change the day then. And have a swinging party. Not, with music. I mean, I don't mean...
I've got a bit of a touch on that.
You're not invited. Oh. If you're longer than 6 inch, you're not invited.
6 inch? Are you using that as a rule? So at this
it's a long rule.
At the Christmas party, have they ever had anybody that's like doing comedians?
No. One year they had one guy on talking about a new book he'd wrote. Fucking hell wants to listen to that. You shouldn't even have speakers on that day. Yeah, Bobby? You're a musician, you know how it works. Yeah. Dave, you're a DJ. Dave could get some good music going, and Bobby can do some.
Mate, I would get them doing the conga around the room.
There's a million things.
There's a million things you can do.
And all that stuff.
My old man says follow the
That's
bed
it.
and don't dilly-dally on your neighbour. You remember that song, Buddy? You remember that song?
I don't.
My old man's a milkman.
Oh, my old man's a dustman.
Dustman,
Where's
that's
he
it.
get milkman from?
That's an English thing, yeah.
That's an English thing.
No, what's that song about the milkman?
That's Ernie. That's
Ernie, he drove the fastest milk car.
He drove the fastest car in the West. Yeah, you see, just these things... but listen, this is where I want to come from, and there's people that are experts at this. Believe me, I'm nowhere near that. But there's people that know in an older man's brain who is 70 years old plus, be it from America, be it from anywhere in the world, there are triggers in his mind that if you can flick one of them triggers, you've got him. You've got him, and be it Lauren Hardy, be it Charlie Chaplin,
absolutely,
be it him. Once you've hit that trigger, you've got him. You've got him. You've got him. Well, excuse me, boss. I mean, you look old. How old are you? Well, I'm 70 years old. And what kind of films do you remember? Well, I used to watch Buster Keaton, and I used to watch Charlie Chaplin.
John Wayne.
John Wayne, I remember him. Boom. You know, and you have a laugh with the guy. Yeah? You know, what did you used to do in your... I mean, how did you do dating in the old days? Did you go in the back of the car? Was it a Cadillac? Did you go to the drive-in movie? How was the popcorn? Bubbly, yeah? Did you use a condom? You know, but suddenly you are talking to this guy and he feels part of the show that you're putting on every Friday.
That's right.
No, Bobby?
Agreed.
Am I wrong or right?
Yeah, you're totally right. But the challenge is
it's massive.
Consistency. Every Friday, you'd have to have someone really dynamic to capture that and continue that whole feeling.
Yeah, sure.
But I think running Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, Laurel and Hardy movies on the flat
funny.
screen,
That sort of stuff, yeah.
that would be
funny.
cool, man.
So
that would be
funny.
like a good icebreaker, I think.
I mean,
I'm sure there's people techno enough in the club to manage to put them
We
together.
could just
you know.
download them off YouTube and put them in that computer and run them.
Darren, let me put it very, very simple for you. I've probably got all of them. Okay,
Right, yeah.
You've got a projector there. The projector takes a USB stick, right? You stick the USB stick in, you press play, and that's it.
It's done on a camera, on the laptop.
Well,
Just put it in a laptop and boom.
that's
off
it.
goes,
We
that's
put it on the stick, you put it in the laptop, you press play, and it's on the screen. That's it. It's as simple as that. You can have them. We're giving them all day long. But it just creates a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
I don't want to be staring at a 25-foot stage screen
With nothing on it.
Reading
with nothing on
words.
it, reading words.
I mean, the words are good for a little bit, but not the whole thing.
yes, but just by having an A4 piece of paper
Yeah.
of today's agenda, which they pick up on the way in,
Yeah.
to sit at their table, yes, or even on the table for them when they get there, whatever way, you've got the screen free then to do everything you want with that screen. Do you get what I'm... It's only... Listen, mate, we're only tweaking, we're only talking, we're only suggesting. It doesn't matter what you do. You walk out of this room and go, bag of shit. Who cares? But I think when you've got a club and you've got people around the table, I think personally this hasn't been done in the past, listening to what you're saying and listening to people who are there, which have done a great job over the years. And as Brian said, it went stale.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's
Big time.
because there's nobody there to whip it up. There's nobody there to keep the enthusiasm going. And with a club like that, and with the members you've got to keep the enthusiasm there. You've got to keep the interest there.
Yeah.
And as soon as you go, I can't be bothered to do that. Oh, I can't be bothered to do that. Weeks after weeks after weeks, then of course your numbers deteriorate. And that's what happens.
That's right. And if you've got 10 board members like we have, they should be working. And they should be creating a creative. You know, there's no good getting a free shirt and a free breakfast if you're not going to do something. You know, and this is my whole. You know, this is what I'm getting at with these people.
But what is
now,
what is the expat club created for, Darren?
For the expats?
Right.
Expats helping expats.
Right. Okay.
That's what it's about. This is the reason you're listening to me wibbling on and the role that I've taken is because when I started here 15, 16 years ago. It was the expat club that got me on my feet, mate.
Yes, I understand that.
Okay, and
brilliant.
all I want to do is
Give back.
is
Give
be
back.
very loyal to them,
Pay it forward.
and give back. You know, and
So you just hit the nail on the head. 10 board members, and that's a little mountain to climb too, because you got 10 egos, 10 people who have different opinions about how things should go. And say this idea that we've come up with, where you're running silent movies that are funny, they're really funny. We want to give that a shot, but that has to go through the screen and filters of 10 people. Which
no, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't?
No, I'll just do it.
Good. Let's do it.
I'll just do it. You know, you.
I can't understand what I'm trying to get around.
I guarantee it would change everything.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get my head around, Bobby, is you've got 10 people at a board meeting and they're all doing it for the same thing, and that is it's working for expats to improve the life here as expats, to
Correct.
give all the information to the expats. Why would they say no?
You got to remember these people are volunteers.
Yes.
Okay, nobody gets paid for anything that we're doing now. They come every single week. You know, give the full morning for nothing.
Yes,
you
I
know,
understand
to help other expats.
Right.
So really, it's only my role that, unfortunately, cost the money. But I've taken that on. Now I need you need the help, because when you're only one person, you need energetic business people like yourself, like Bobby, who've played in front of hundreds of people, who know how to control a room. And this is why we come to you in the first place, because we know that we're going to get the right answers.
I mean, me and Bobby are on board. You know, we will help you. We will try and do what we can to help you. You have my promise. You know, it's not going to cost you one bean. Don't worry about that. You know, if we can advise you or help you or put something together in the way of Bobby putting a film together for you or whatever, we'll do it.
Great.
We'll do it, mate. It's not a problem. But I just think, you know, in my eyes, like Bobby's just said, you've got 10 people sitting around a table that are all volunteering.
But we're nothing.
They're all volunteering for nothing. But if you sat those 10 people around the table and said, hey, you know what? If we just fine-tune this and we fine-tune that, we're going to have some money in the pot. Everybody's going to get new this and everybody's going to get new that. And we're going to do this and we're going to do that. How can they say no if it's improving the club? And they're volunteering.
Listen, I will try anything, me. You know that.
Yeah, sure.
We've been in business here a long time. And if you don't stick your neck out, you don't get anything. So for me, I've been given a long leash and I'm going to use that.
Absolutely.
And I'm going to, I'm going to take the words of very experienced guys than, no disrespect to volunteers who would rather say no than actually physically go out and do something.
Well,
okay, everybody's got the job, but they can improve the way they run the job.
But there's no problem in learning and listening.
Not at all.
He plays the guitar. I can't play guitar. He says to me, hey, you know what, Dave, if you sit down and you do this, I'll learn you to play the guitar. I'm not going to go, no. I'm going to go, where do you want me to sit?
Yeah, that's right. Correct.
Yeah,
100%.
And this is the expat club. This is what it is.
That's right.
This is what needs to be done. And if that happens, you won't have a good club. You will have a great club. And you'll have a club where when this COVID's over and the doors open up and people come back into Pattaya and they hear about what's happening in the club, that's when you get your new members.
Agreed.
I don't want to plug Nathan right now, but I will plug Nathan because his line of quality shirts that he could provide. I mean, you guys could come up with a really nice design, or he could help you come up with a design and change the blue. Those guys have been wearing that same blue shirt for a long time, man. Get rid of that blue shirt and change something and modernize it and make it tasty, make a tasty shirt and then sell, give them away or sell them,
Yeah, absolutely.
Nathan could provide that.
Yeah, he'd probably sponsor some of it as well and try and help you guys out. I mean, it's great material, blah, blah, blah. I know where Brian was coming from, but if they want to wear a shirt like that, then put the first guy and the other two guys in a shirt like that, and then all the people that volunteer, give them one of Nathan's shirts and say this is our shirts. I don't understand, and I do understand, and I don't understand when people are sitting around the table and they're volunteering. I understand that, and that's really good of them to try and help. But sometimes if they don't listen to people that have actually been in that trade or done that kind of thing in their life. If Bobby said to me, actually, Dave, if you change the lights in here to green, the show would be a hell of a lot better. And
let's try it.
And I go, let's try it.
Yeah.
Why
don't we try things?
Why would I oppose him? Why would I oppose him?
That's right. Agreed.
It don't make sense.
Agreed. We got a comment here from Dwayne Tonkin. Big shout out to Darren. He helped me with my partner's visa to Australia back 9 years ago. You'll be a great asset for the club as you are a genuine and sincere guy.
Obviously don't know you then.
No.
Thanks for the comment.
Thank you for that.
But you see what we're doing.
Yeah.
You see what we're doing. We're talking in the studio. People are listening. I've just looked online. There's quite a few online now. So we're talking online. We're talking about something that's relevant to Pattaya. It's an important part of Pattaya. And now we're getting people that's live commenting us, saying things. This is what should be happening.
Correct. And it's about staying here safe, Dave. And that's what the club's all about. It's about making sure people don't make mistakes. So we can, forget about the fine tuning that we're doing. It's still there to help people. So even if they join now, they're going to get a great service, but they're going to get an even better one in the future.
You need to get to the stage where people say this there, and I'm going to tell you this is what you need to get to the stage is, and that is that people listen to too many people in patio. They sit in bars, they sit at wherever, they listen to bar room talk and all this stuff, and you need a person to stand up and say, that's actually bullshit. If you go to the Expat Club on a Friday, those guys know what they're talking about, and you'll have a hell of a time while you're doing it. And that's where you need to be.
Correct.
You need to make people come to you and want to come to you and want to stay with you. That's an achievement in itself. But if you get there, you've got something that will never break.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I agree with that.
That's my opinion. I wish you all the best of luck because you're doing a great job. You're doing a great job. You took on a big role. Like you said, he's got this Rolls Canardi. It's not a Rolls Royce. He's got a Rolls Canardi. This guy rolls down the hill, but can hardly get up.
Cheddar one. Cheddar roll, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you get where I'm coming from. We're all laughing and joking here, but there's a lot of serious stuff in this conversation that we're having, and there's a lot of good stuff that could come out of it. And like any of us in here, we don't know everything. We don't know that it's the golden key or the golden bar, but
you got to throw some shit at the board to see if it sticks.
That's what my dad used to say, and Bobby's learning that from me already. Yeah. My dad used to say to me, throw enough shit at the wall, Dave, and something will stick. And if something sticks, it means you've done something right.
That's
right. But if you don't have a go, you never know.
Correct. Agreed.
So that's just my opinion.
And I think the expats who are there, who come every week, I think they're going to see that you are trying and you are bringing something fresh to the plate. They're going to notice these things happening, and they're going to go, "Wow!" They're going to appreciate that. They're going to,
just by a little. Let's just put this to bed before we talk about something else, just for a second. If you sat down at home or sat down with anybody, and you wrote on an A4 piece of paper 20 things or 15 things that you would like to see happen at the club, got it onto a survey paper and put it on that piece of paper and put everybody that's in that club and gave them a piece of paper with that survey on and told them to tick what they would like to see happen in this club and collected them all at home, collected them all at the end and then had a look at them yourself, I think you'd be pretty amazed what you see. Because that way, the person on the table doesn't have to grab a mic in his hand and stand up and say, what about this?
No.
He's silent, but he's a word, he's a voice putting it on a piece of paper to say, I'd like to see that. That's why people vote.
Agreed.
And I think that should happen at the Expat Club.
Yeah,
I think it should be a suggestions paper put on their table or given to them as they walk in on a Friday and collected at the end and see what they would like changed.
Who's on tomorrow?
2 guys from the FPV, Foreign Volunteer Police, talking about the change, what's happened over the COVID period. This foreign police volunteers, as you know, are guys that are put in police stations that Neil started. And they put
helped a lot of people, by the way.
Oh yeah,
helped a lot of people,
thousands, to help foreigners if they lose the passport and things, what to do, and the great guys.
The FPV. I mean, I can't imagine the walking street, for example, without FPV. And I think if the FPV wasn't there on many occasions, there would have been an all-out war.
Agreed.
They've done a lot of good things. Great.
I mean, they sit in police stations all over Chonburi. And they'll do police reports for people. They'll give advice. If people come in, they've lost the hotel keys and stuff like that. I can't remember where I'm staying. And so, unfortunately, some of the police can't. Their English isn't. They're not fluent.
Absolutely.
And that's why these guys are there. And 2 of them tomorrow. I think one of the guys is the leader, the big boss. It's coming tomorrow, and they're talking about this sort of stuff.
Are you down there tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow.
I might turn up tomorrow.
Yeah,
I can get up. I mean, we lost it. Last week we was just. I don't know what happened last week. We were going to go, and then suddenly we were doing a load of stuff, weren't we?
We had a double decker.
Yeah, we
last
had a
week.
double decker, same as we did today.
Double decks.
Yeah. Double decks, yeah, two shows in one day.
Busy.
What about the visas? The visa side of it. Is there anything new on there since last time, or anything changed?
A couple of things really. That the STV for people overseas in Europe, people are still getting. They are getting them, but they're going on a long list.
Right.
And people, it's what we're seeing at the moment is the people that are arriving here are not tourists; they're family members. The people that are getting a non-immigrant visa, they're coming in on the non-immigrant and they're extending it, because they don't want to get caught out next time. I do feel that I think it's only going to be a few months before things start getting a little bit better. here. I'm just hoping that the missing links don't bring COVID, or they have been tested properly, and the Thais see that and make them feel a lot better, because the ones that have come now, there's another 400 coming at the end of the month. So that'll be good. But I think what they're going to do, they're going to trial first with more Asian travellers, tourists.
They think that the Europeans are more like COVID.
Well,
than the Asians.
Most countries are in the shit, aren't they?
Absolutely.
America is, the UK. I mean, they're doing tiers now. They're doing lockdowns. They're doing stuff that they should have done months ago. So the Thais are a bit. You can understand why they're a bit scared. So they're making this STV near enough impossible. But what got me yesterday was when I was reading about the elite visa, because a lot of guys have forked out the 500,000 baht for an elite visa, which is the 5-year visa, multiple entry, and you can come into Thailand on that. Okay, so
it's only 5 years.
It's only 5 years, but it's 100,000 baht a year, which isn't. So some of these guys that work offshore or in the oil industry or whatever, it's not a massive amount of money for them, So a lot of people have switched to that, and I believe there's roughly about 15,000 people have switched to that visa now. So them sort of people are actually already here, or can come in and out of the country, because they get privilege through the airport. They get discounts on this, that, and the other. I'm not going to push elite because I think it's very expensive.
We don't want the 1,500. We want the the 1.5 million people.
We want
down
15
here.
million. We don't
down here.
Correct, but. As I said, most families now are being reunited, which is nice. They're coming together, and they're letting them in. But as far as I'm concerned, as far as the visa's concerned, nothing else is changing. Nothing else. In Thailand, there's no visa changes whatsoever. Everything's running as normal. The amnesty finishes at the end of this month. Maybe they will probably extend another month.
I think they're going to open up for Christmas. I think they're going to open up for December.
Well, that's what I said, a few months.
I think they're going to open up for December. They've got to. They've got to. It's going to be the right time to open it if they do.
Yeah, whether it will be to the Europeans, we don't know.
The only problem is, of course, now is we're not going to get political as what's happening in Bangkok and the other place at the moment, which they're trying to disperse in a good way. So hopefully that will go away and things will open up. But I do think December.
Agreed.
I think so. They got it.
You guys really think that?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I think for a financial point of view, they've got no choice, as Dave said. If they don't, you're going to see a massive collapse. Hotels, resorts, they're falling to pieces, mate.
I mean, you've only got to look at Phuket. You've got to look at all the islands. You've got to look at. They're all done. I mean, Phuket, I told you my friend went down there the other week. There was one pizza place open, one massage parlour, and the hotel where he stayed. That was it.
Well, even the governor's saying it's beyond repair.
Yeah.
It's just gone too long, as far as they're concerned. We haven't got the problems that they've got overseas, in the West now, here. So
and I don't think people are going to have even if it kicks back in down places like that, the Thai people themselves, I don't think a lot of them are going to have the finances left to refurbish and get on with things, because you shut a shop up for a long time, and what you're going to get in there is going to get damp, it's going to get mold, it's going to get air cons and they're going to be not working properly, it's going to be stinking in that. I mean, there's lots of things.
Be very interesting on Walking Street.
Yeah,
when they open up, to see how many people actually open up again.
I mean, 15 currently open, yeah.
Something like that.
15 at the moment out of 52 currently open.
Yeah,
at the moment.
So you guys think December? So December comes along and people, I mean, it's going to be a fast booking for them, but are they going to have to do the 14 days, or you think it's going to go down to 7 days? Or
no, I don't think it'll exist.
Okay.
No, I don't.
No, I don't. It'll be gone.
I think they're going to have to do the COVID test before they come.
Yep, 72 hours.
And then maybe a COVID test at the airport when they arrive. All this bullshit about everyone's going to have a bodyguard like North Korea and wearing wristbands and all that. I don't think it's going to come in. But I think the application that they've designed now for the phone, where they can track you where you're going in and out, I think that will definitely come in and be used. So all you do is ditch your phone, don't you? Just get a new one. I got to come and get a new one, and that's it.
But I think I can't see. My personal feelings on it is, if we're getting towards December and they say, right, 72 hours before you come. You've got to be tested every, 12 hours before you come. You've got to have a test every 12 hours before you come, and then you're allowed to come. Yeah, you fly here, and you've got to stay in one place for one day and tested twice in that day. Then after that, you can go. I think something like that would be acceptable in my eyes.
But as well, maybe the people that would normally come at Christmas, and maybe the people that would normally come for a jolly, they probably haven't got the money now, Dave. There's a lot of people losing their job, or the government's not supporting them now, or whichever way, the company's gone bang. So
they have
get your girlfriend there, mate.
Yeah,
we've said it for weeks now.
I've mentioned this to a lot of people. I said, listen, have a listen to the show. Go back on the Talking Heads podcast.
British Embassy.
Have a look at it and see what he said. I'm not lying. He said it's easy.
Well, I don't say it's easy.
Well, it's easier.
I mean, it's easier than coming here.
Absolutely.
And cheaper. And as far as I'm concerned, that I wouldn't cut off my nose to spite my face. If I couldn't come here, I'll think of an alternative way, which is getting my girlfriend there. And just, I've not got a lot of money in the bank. Well, you don't need it. You don't need a lot of money. They don't want millionaires.
The thing
they want a standard Joe. That's it.
The thing that's going to be interesting, Bobby, and I mean, Bobby's more into this than I am, and he's more into all this kind of side of it, is when they do open up wherever, we're here in Thailand, when they do open up Thailand, it's going to be interesting to see what their bailout situation is going to be. It's going to be interesting to see what's on the table to help the Thai people in the way to get back on their feet, because there's billions and billions been lost, but somewhere along the line the government has to put something on the table to say we've had this unfortunate accident and we need to sort of help these people to get our economy going again. It's going to be interesting. I mean, we're not going to get political, but I mean, I just think that it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I've never seen as many homeless people as what I see now.
Sad.
Me and my missus coming out of 7-Eleven the other night, there's a Thai bloke asleep on the floor. Outside 7-Eleven, I've never seen that before. You know what I mean?
Andy stepped over me.
I didn't piss on him, no. But what I'm saying is it's sad.
It is.
For somebody that's lived here a long, long time, it's very sad to say. And I don't think our politics here, I think it's gone from a good running country to a country that's going to be very hard to repair. And I think like the UK and America, they put somebody in place which is damage limitations. And I think it's going to take at least 5 to 6 years to get back to anything, if it ever does, like it used to do.
But in the UK, Bobby, and yourself, you've got the people that are unemployed anyway, right? And they're on social security, they're on individual, they're on all these different benefits, right? So that's a big undertaking anyway for our government to pay every month, yeah? Then suddenly you've got all these other people piled on top now that have lost their businesses, they've lost everything, and now they start to apply for everything. I mean, the cost of it must be phenomenal. And I mean, how in England or anywhere really, what's the recovery going to be? Is it going to be, COVID's over now, and here's millions and millions and billions of dollars to get us back on our feet again? But I don't think that is the cure. Because the damage is already done, like you've just said in Thailand. I mean, there's a lot of damage been done. A hell of a lot of damage been done. And how long is it going to take to recover? And if it does recover slowly, which it's going to be recovering slowly, are the people that came here before going to come back? That's my question. Or are we going to get an influx of new people coming here that have never been here? So the answer to what I'm trying to say is they've got to make it as cheap and as easy to come here as possible to draw back the customers and the tourists that came before. Would you not agree with that?
There'll probably be deals for sure. Bring them back in after everything flips.
Buy one, get one free.
Okay. What I will say to all them guys out there is the patio that you left is not the patio you're going to come back to. That's what scares me. Because not only is it a ghost town, but it's also the atmosphere's gone. Half of the entertainment venues are closed. Half of the restaurants are closed. You're going to get an STV visa and come back for a right good jolly up, and you're going to be really, really surprised. You know, it's scary. So don't think here is any better than where you are now. At least here, you know, you've got the weather and the women, but it's, for me, it's very sad, and I think it's going to take years and years and years to come back. Like you said, I don't think the old people who've had the bars before and closed them are going to reopen them. I think it's probably going to be new blood that's going to come and hope for a new start.
I really hope that it comes back fresher, and I really hope that it comes back better, because I can tell you now, I really miss it. I really miss it.
Jesus.
I really miss it.
I mean, there isn't a day goes by where I don't think what it was like 5, 6, 10 years ago.
It was brilliant.
I mean, it was
brilliant.
I mean, I remember when I had my old John TM shop, you know, I was like this.
Yeah.
Women were going past on BART buses and stuff. You know, I used to get a crick in my neck. You know, then with the good days, you know, good days. But now...
It's going to be a recovery. It's going to be a recovery.
When you get to 8 o'clock at night and you go walking straight and there's cars going up and down and you're thinking... This is the same street,
yeah.
You know, and it's like I said.
There's a lot of been, you know, we're talking about patio, and we agree there's a lot of damage been done here, but as Thailand as a whole, it's been devastating.
Yeah.
To a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there, like you say, homeless. They've got no money. They've got no food. They've got no means. They're living off what they can pick up, and it's just a very, very sad. It's a very sad place, and it's really, for me, it's really being like you are married to a Thai person. It's very sad to see them talk about it. It's very sad to learn about their villages and things like that, because, you know, be it whatever you say, Darren, we're part of their culture now. We're married to them. We're part of their lives, and we become with them. They're one.
And nobody's smiling, mate.
Nobody's smiling.
You know, the land of smiles has gone to the land of misery.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, when you look on the news and you see 20, 40,000 people demonstrating, they're not doing it because they like it. They're doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
They've come out and they've gone against every law that's ever been known here, to make people realise what's going on. And I think that it's not about tourism. It's not about money. It's about they've just had enough.
Well, I think that the futures could be better. I think that it's going to open up for December, but let's cross our fingers, eh?
Yeah, and I'm hoping, because me and you, at the end of our span now, not really, but we are, and I'm hoping that there's a lot of young guys come through, like the old days, who start businesses here and you know, and get the place going again.
We're on the way down. We want to see them on the way up.
We do, yes.
We do. Yeah. Listen, guys.
I ain't jealous, mate.
I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous of you. I've never been jealous.
I've never been jealous of your pink shirt.
I've never been jealous.
Just because I've got a yellow.
What colour is that?
Plum.
Plum.
You plum.
You brought a
fucking plum.
What he means to say is you brought one off the cheap rail.
Cheeky bastard. And Bobby,
what's happening there, mate?
Bobby's got his autumn shirt on.
These are cherry blossoms from Japan.
Cherry blossoms from Japan.
Oh.
I bought this in Japan.
Yeah?
That's a smoking weed shirt, that.
It is, isn't it?
This is not marijuana. These are cherry blossoms.
No. You've been fooled again, mate, by a copy. That's hash, mate, that is on there. I'm telling you.
It is.
Oh, actually, the other shirt.
It's got Bob Marley at the bottom of
it. Listen, guys, it's been a really good one today. But I think we've been on quite a long time. How long have we been on now, Bobby? About 5 days?
1 hour and 27 minutes.
He's a laughing.
Almost an hour and a half.
Huh? An hour and a half. That's not too bad, is it?
No.
Never mind.
Thank you, David.
Thank you,
and
Darren.
Bobby, thank you, as always.
Let's hope that we come up with some new stuff and hopefully breathe some life into Pattaya again, whatever way it is. And I'm sure we all want the best for Pattaya, for Thais, for foreigners. We want our old days back in a new form.
And we want the young people to come back and do it for us. You know, we want them to come and open.
Okay, I like that.
Younger.
Okay, see you later. Yeah, thanks a lot.
See you.
Bobby, enjoy that.
Thank you.
Not bad at all, eh? See you later.
Talking Heads podcast live from Pattaya, Thailand, with your host Dave D. Join us weekdays. Check out all the latest updates on talkingheads-podcast.com.